The Army National Guard is deploying Oklahoma soldiers to Afghanistan in support of Operation Freedom Sentinel.
They're training now at Camp Gruber for a new mission. News on 6's Emery Bryan is on the story.
Nearly 500 men and women from the 180th are preparing for a deployment. They won't go till the end of the year, but between now and then, they'll be developing the skills they'll need on their mission.
Part of that is firearms refresher training for the 95% of Guard members who serve part-time.
It'll be a new experience for me for sure.
Most of the soldiers are leaving on their first overseas deployment. They're training on weapons like the M9 and M4 to make sure they're ready.
To make sure that everybody's up to snuff so that when we get there, we're not having to train whenever it's real.
More than 100 soldiers will be trained as combat lifesavers, and at least one goes on every mission.
We're the medics before the medics are able to get there, help them out, and get them off the range.
The 45th regularly trains at Camp Gruber, usually for the combat they've encountered in many deployments.
Shots are going to be popping off, everybody's going to be screaming at you, the patient's going to be yelling, because everybody wants to get home in one piece.
And just like this, heel to toe, looking above your sight.
This time, the 180th has a different goal in Afghanistan, and that's led to more training.
It's a totally different mission. Before we had a lot of combat operations on past deployments, but this is more of an advisor force protection. So some of those skill sets that we used before aren't going to be the same.
Start from the kneeling position.
The 180th will train at Camp Gruber through the end of the month. From there, they'll continue training in Texas before deploying overseas at the end of the year. On the scene, on the story at Camp Gruber, Emery Bryan, News on 6.